up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dan's Golf World Pod. We got an action-packed show this week, of course, taking place right here in our brand new studio setup. We'll give you guys a little better look at that here shortly. Also, Scottie Scheffler takes another win at the Hero World Challenge and does so with a new putting grip. We're going to take a look at that and figure out what's going on there and what got him that 9th win this season. Also, Tony Finau finally responds to the LIV Golf rumors. Is he going? Is he not? Greg Norman, CEO of LIV Golf, is out, and they've got a new one on the way in. Also, the biggest contract in all of sports history was just signed this past weekend, and we're going to take a look at how that relates to this new era of money in golf, and where does Scottie Scheffler stack up in all of that? And like every guy, holidays are right around the corner. If you're into golf, what do you buy a guy golfer? We're going to cover all that right here on the Dan's Golf World Pod. Gentlemen, welcome to the new Dan's Golf World studio for the Dan's Golf World show. Guys, how does it feel? Gary, how are you feeling down here in your new spot?
One golf clap for how nice it looks.
I'll take a golf clap. Any chance I can get one, I'll take it.
You guys did this so fast too.
You got to work quick. I mean, you know the content game.
Yeah.
You know, you can't stall around for a minute.
And it looks, I mean, like you have so many different angles and like the cool vibes with the guitars and the old school picture of you, which is my favorite.
I did that for you, Gary.
You know, I knew that because, yeah.
Also want to welcome to the pod. We got Rich joining us here on video, but he's kind of in his own desk spot. I love this setup. Rich, are you comfy over there in the studio here with us?
Oh man, it's absolutely comfy for sure, and I cannot say enough. I love the way this new setup looks. It's absolutely awesome. You got the brick wall going over there. You guys got plenty of space. I absolutely love it. It looks great.
Josh, I think we did good.
Yeah, I'm all the way in no man's land over here.
You know, I feel like, though, you know, it's important to give Josh his own domain, his own space with all his buttons and knobs.
You got your own desk. How could you complain about that?
Oh, I know.
There you go. What's behind you, Rich? Like, what is that? Like fish tanks or like power things for the internet? I can't even tell.
Rich is a multitasker. Not only is he at work, he's also on the podcast. There's a lot going on over there.
Hey, we're missing one person.
Oh, Gizmo. That's right. Welcome to the new studio setup. Hopefully you're enjoying it over there as well. All right. I feel like Josh is trying to roll a Gizmo track and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
He didn't want to talk to
Are you guys
Dan.
sensing this awkward stall in the setup?
I did that 4 times.
I immediately want to
hear
flip Gizmo.
just fine. He's talking about wanting a stripper pole on there.
Oh my God. Rich is the only one who can hear Gizmo.
Can you guys not hear Gizmo?
I hear nothing of Gizmo.
You hear nothing of Gizmo.
Gizmo is not, I don't know. Gizmo, I don't know what Josh did to you. He's got you piped into Rich. I don't know what you and Rich got going on.
Sounds great over here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Rich, what did whatever Gizmo say? Was it funny?
It was good. It was good.
Just nod your head, yeah.
All right.
Is it because he got a beard and Gizmo's got a beard that we couldn't hear him?
That's it. They're in some sort of like bearded club that we're left out of. Gary, you should be
bearded-
able to hear him quietly because you have a little beard.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so Gizmo might be quiet.
All right, whatever. Shut up, Gizmo.
He usually just makes fun of me anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah, Larry.
Larry.
And it was
How offensive.
It was
You
kinda
can't even
funny,
get your name
Josh.
right.
First day.
it's kind of funny. Josh was saying that he's in no man's world. Like, well, I think I'm kind of like probably the farthest most removed from the area.
Rich is literally like 2 hours away.
Literally.
Josh is like 7 feet and he's feeling alone.
No, dude, the funny thing is I used to watch a TV show when I was younger, and there was a teacher who had a TV in the room, and she was sitting at the TV teaching, and like she moved and everything.
I don't know what show that was.
South
No,
Park.
you won't know. No.
Do you know what show was dominating this past weekend? Tiger Woods Hero World Challenge. And of course, in classic Scottie Scheffler nature, comes back for another win. How about a golf clap for Scottie doing it again, huh? Here's what I think is interesting. Of course, last time we saw Scottie, he was wrapping up his season-long win at the FedEx Cup and takes a little break, goes away, steps away from competitive golf. He doesn't need the fall FedEx Cup points, so it doesn't really matter to him. He sits it out. He takes it easy until this nice little Tiger Woods hosted event. Comes back. Guy's not rusty. There's nothing that is sort of missing from his game, and shows up and comes back and takes a 6-shot lead to win down in the Bahamas. And I don't know. I feel like this era of Scottie is something we're going to look back on in the future. And hopefully, quite honestly, it's something where he makes his way into the Mount Rushmore of PGA Tour players in golf. I mean,
do we really have to talk about this guy over and over again?
I can hear
We
him.
get it. Mr. Number One in the world
Yes.
wants to win another tournament. You know, I met him when we were both in a holding cell in Nashville, but I didn't have the excuse like playing in a golf tournament. I had to stay in there for a month.
Wait, didn't that happen in Louisville?
Wow.
Gizmo,
Wow.
Either
Gizmo.
he's just so messed up that he saw Scottie there.
lay off the John Dailies
Oh,
or
man.
whatever it is they're called.
That's messed up.
That is very messed up. Do you guys know much about the Hero World Challenge?
A little
The
bit, yeah.
history of it, anything?
100%.
Not really.
I did a little research and a little writing. If you guys don't mind, I'll get us all caught up to speed before we talk a little more about the events this past weekend. All right, here's what I got for you guys, and hopefully this helps out. The Hero World Challenge was founded in January 2000 by Tiger Woods and his father, Earl Woods, with the goal to support underserved communities. Why not? Tiger, Earl out there, doing good things for the people all over. Go ahead, Gary.
Since then, they raised over $150 million. Since that, and it's pretty cool.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's like $7 or $6.5 million a year,
That's a lot of
and that's just the one
underprivileged
foundation. Yeah,
children.
absolutely.
Wow.
Over the years, the tournament has grown in prestige and has attracted many of the world's top-ranked golfers. It rotated through renowned venues such as Sherwood Country Club in California and Isleworth down there in Florida, gaining recognition for its exclusive and high-level competition. Well, yeah, of course it's exclusive. Tiger Woods picks the players who come. I mean, I would feel like that keeps it pretty exclusive. By 2009, the tournament began awarding official world golf ranking points, though it is not an official PGA Tour event. It's sort of, as they call, an unofficial PGA Tour event. So no FedEx Cup points, nothing like that. But it is still a world golf ranking event. How do you guys feel about that? Where you've got an event where it's a hand-picked group of guys. They can go out and play. Nobody else has the option. There's no qualifying in or anything. But then these guys can then get world ranking points. Josh, do you think that is fair to the other guys who are trying to fight their way up the world golf ranking ladder to see other guys who are at the top of their game in an invite-only event now getting, OWGR points?
I think since it is, what was it, like a 24-person field?
20.
Even worse.
Yeah.
I feel like since it was a select amount of people, it should not have had the points, the whatever
Keep points out of it.
Yeah.
Now
They
here,
shouldn't have those points, but
go on.
I could see why people want the points. Like the people playing it, it's like, oh, this is easy. I get an extra tournament on everyone that boosts points. But at the same time, how many points were divvied out between everyone? Was it like a normal event, or was it?
I did not do a deep dive on the points, but maybe that's something we could look into for our viewership audience.
Okay.
Maybe next week we'll bring that back.
All right.
I mean, here's the thing. I understand, though, it needs to have some validity for people to watch, because if it literally meant nothing, what's the point in tuning in? So I understand that aspect of things, but at the same time, I don't know, to handpick 20 guys and then allow them all to get world ranking points, I don't know. I think that's a tough thing, but I'll continue on here with my historical update here of the Hero World Challenge. By 2015, the Hero World Challenge found its permanent home at the Albany Golf Club in the Bahamas, providing a scenic and challenging backdrop for the competition. Today, the field remains limited to just 20 players, carefully selected by Tiger Woods and the tournament organizers, ensuring a lineup of top-tier talent, which I will say it definitely is a star-studded lineup. And I do think that I don't know, draws attention. It's almost sort of like a golfing exhibition among a little buddy group of 20 of the top guys. And among those guys, I will say Justin Thomas was pounding the ball.
I was so happy to see him up there.
Oh, dude, I was looking on Instagram where I get like 89% of my news, and they were saying like there were some stats of his top 10 drives of the week, and it was like I don't think there was anything short of like 320, and he was up at like 347. I know, Gary, you hit the ball pretty long. Do you feel like those are big numbers for Justin Thomas?
Well, yeah. I mean, every like climate is different, and like in Texas and Vegas and Arizona, you get different rolls, so everything works out differently. But like
You're getting a little of that Bahama breeze behind the ball, yeah.
You know, you're in the
Bahama
Bahamas,
mama.
you got that like placebo effect too. But I expect that out of him for sure, 100%.
Well, I mean, because he struggled. You know, I feel like last year and this year we haven't been seeing the Justin Thomas that we've sort of fell in love with over the last how many ever years. But I don't feel like his day is done. I just felt like we're in a little bit of a lull. We're in a slump. I don't know what it is, but there is still a dog in that Justin Thomas.
I remember watching Justin Thomas. He hit a 346, then he had like 236 in, and then he hit like, I don't know, a 7-iron or something. And then like he was like a foot away. I'm like, that was a nice eagle. And then I'm like, oh, wait, that was a par 4. I'm like, that's the difference in these guys. You know, it's just unbelievable what they can do.
Well, right. The course conditions and also the length, like the tees they're playing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a lot of times when you look at these guys' scores and, you know, I mean, Scottie Scheffler ends up taking a 6-shot lead to win this tournament. But, you know, and he's I think he was 25 under for the weekend. But if any of us were to take a trip down to the Bahamas, we're not playing the same course that they're playing. So you want to go shoot a score and compare where you stack up against Scottie Scheffler, it's still an unfair comparison because the course condition and the tee length that they set these guys up, the pin positions, all of that, it is a completely different game when it is in professional golf condition and setup and all of that.
Question.
Like, yes.
So
Answer.
when you go out and play, say you're playing the tips.
Yeah.
When they have
Dan does not play the tips.
I don't love the
well,
tips.
when
Okay, there,
Dan does
rephrase
not
that.
play the tips.
When Gary makes me play the
mad.
tips. Go ahead.
Which
Okay.
is very
So-
far and few between.
when say we're at Green Garden, place we go to all the time and go play.
Yeah.
If they ever host a tournament, are they gonna move those tips back for a PGA tournament, or is that where the tips should be for like?
Well, so they have tips. They've got them. And sometimes if they're trying to get the yardage, depending on the tournament and what they need, they could stretch them out and be at the back of those tee boxes. But a lot of these golf courses that are classified as a championship golf course have an additional set that are behind the back tees that we
the
all know.
pros.
Yeah. And so a lot of times those tee boxes are additionally farther from the back tees, making them this just ridiculous amount. And a lot of times these pros, when they play at home courses, for example, John Daly, he's a member down at Old Hickory in Nashville. We play there all the time. Brother Joe's a member there. He's got the daily tees. Like their tips weren't enough for him. And this isn't a championship course. They're not hosting gigantic tournaments there, but even just for his own practice and own play, they put in an additional set of tees. So he's practicing in a similar scenario that it's going to look like when he goes out and plays professionally.
Now I got another one. Have you guys ever seen those courses where like you could tell they just added the tips?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like
It's just a mound.
There's a place where I was one of my regulars this past season where there's at least 4 or 5 holes where like you have to walk over a whole bunch of marsh
Yeah.
to get to this like island tee. And it's just like, oh, this, you could just tell this thing was placed here. This wasn't.
Did you hit from back there? Did you do it?
Hell no.
Thank God.
A majority of these courses that are like super nice, like in Vegas at the Revere, there's like 7 different tees. Like at your like public courses, like at Green Garden, you're looking at like a white, a red, and silver, and like, you know, a blue. But like at a Vegas course, you got like 7 different tees.
Well, and also a lot of the courses in our area around here, it'll be like 1 or 2 tee boxes with the tee markers within it.
Yeah.
But out there in Vegas where you're talking about, a lot of times each one is its own like island with its own steps. So like,
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like in a totally different, like you could be like on a mountain and then the undulation change from the cliffs. Like in Georgia, I was playing the tips from the Fazio course.
yeah.
And like every par 3 was between 225 and 255. But you're still hitting like a 7-iron, 5-iron down because of the undulation. So you always got to take all these things into account. And it's like a lot more fun though, I feel.
That's where it turns into golf math.
Yeah.
All right. I got a little more. I'm gonna finish getting through the story here on this. Proceeds from the event now benefit the TGR Foundation, formerly the Tiger Woods Foundation, which supports educational initiatives for underserved youth. Through its history, the Hero World Challenge has evolved into a premier golf event blending competitive excellence with a lasting commitment to make a positive impact. Yada, yada, yada. I don't feel like reading any more of that. Anyway, yeah.
Bloop, bloop.
But Scottie Scheffler back doing it again. Now, just before the event happened, we did hear that Tiger Woods was dropping out. He talked about how he's not feeling, physically at competition level, and he understands that. And I guess I can understand that. I mean, because looking at it, he's invited 20 of the top players in the world. And if he's not playing at his prime, I mean, okay, let's take, for example, US Open or something like that. We got I don't know what it is, 120 guys in the field, and Tiger Woods doesn't have a great time, but he finishes kind of somewhere in the heap and whatever. It was great to see him. We're glad he made an appearance. I think that's different than inviting 20 guys out and being dead last.
Well,
I just feel like it looks
so
different.
Much extra things to do when he's there, Like he's running the event, the amount of press conferences, talking, saying hi to everybody. So he's got to like cross all those T's and dot all those I's too. So, he's older too. So like, I think he's saving himself to play with Charlie, etc. He only cares about the majors right now anyways.
Which was just confirmed.
Yeah.
It is official. We're going to have Tiger and Charlie at the PNC next week, which I will be at.
Charlie's about to carry.
Oh, let's go.
Yes.
That's so cool.
But we'll jump into that more next week's pod, kind of leading up to it. A lot going on there. But Tiger said, I'm disappointed that I will not be able to compete this year at the Hero World Challenge, but always look forward to being the tournament host and spending the week with Hero Moto Corp, which I have no clue what that is.
Like the Hero Challenge was one of my most detrimentally, just devastating moments for me watching golf.
Why?
Because it was 5 years from 08 to 2013 when Tiger hadn't won nothing.
Yep.
And then Justin Thomas comes out. Or no, not Justin Thomas, Zach Johnson, and they go into a playoff. Or not a playoff, like Justin Thomas hits it. Yeah, they did the playoff, and he hits in the water, and then he drops, and then he makes it.
Oh.
So then Tiger misses his birdie putt, which I thought he was going to make. It was like 7 feet. And then they had to go to another playoff, and then he won. And it was like one of 2 times when Tiger lost when he was in the lead. But it was sad. It was one of the only times.
Are you still a little salty against Justin
literally
Thomas
think about that. No, not Zach Johnson.
Oh, Zach Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
I love you,
Moto
Zach, but
Corp
come on.
is India's leading two-wheeler manufacturer, so like bikes, like motorcycles and stuff.
Wow.
Bikes!
Yeah, I don't think of Tiger Woods as a gigantic motorcycle guy, but hey, either way, he enjoys spending the week with them.
Had a couple trouble with some cars, so.
Little interesting detail. Scottie Scheffler, shooting 25 under at this tournament, tied Bubba Watson's tournament record of 25 under.
Wow.
Bubba Watson has been hanging on to that for a few years. What's Bubba been doing?
Getting cut from LIV.
I like Bubba.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
I do.
He's like my dad who would cry after, every time he wins, it's going to happen.
You know it's going to happen.
He always cries. He's just that sentimental type.
Do you guys ever see those bets that go around the internet? They're like,
it's not a bad thing.
Is, the over under, like, will Scottie cry after he wins the Masters or whatever like that? And there's bets. There's
he's a robot.
Prop bets you can make.
Dude, you see him weep at the
No,
Olympics?
I'm kidding. But he's still,
Oh,
he's still
dude.
a robot.
It was so moving.
Yeah, but that's the Olympics, though.
Okay. All right.
We're getting off the wheels.
I want to pull this up here. So Scottie finished the round with a bogey-free Sunday, 63. But let's take a look here at this scorecard and how just beautiful and flawless this round is. But there is something very interesting that stood out to me in looking at this. In this nearly flawless round, beautiful, I mean, it is flawless, but this beautiful round, he did not birdie a single par 3.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's got 12 threes on the card. That's awesome.
What I think is so interesting about that is how often amateur golfers are hard on themselves when they're not birdieing a par 3. And you look at the number 1 golfer in the world playing a near flawless round, beautiful golf, and did not birdie a single par 3.
Yeah, but you don't need to.
Clearly not.
I think when you birdie a par 3, it's an extra.
It's bonus.
Unless it's between 100 and 145, then you should kind of maybe.
Yeah.
More, yeah.
All right, go to this next one. I also love to see this. This is the play-by-play. I got all this off the PGAtour.com. But I love this, the play-by-play for his 18th hole to finish the entire thing off. Shot 1, 306 yards into the fairway beautifully. Then hits 100, he's 173 yards out, hits a 174-yard shot onto the green to 3 feet,
Like an
4
8-iron
inches.
for him.
Nothing at all.
No.
Puts it in for birdie. I was like, dude, even just like a closing hole, 306-yard drive, 173 yards of the hole, 3.5 or 3.25 foot putt in to close out his 9th birdie of the day.
That's
He
just
kept
Scottie
doing-
Scheffler's Sunday afternoon right there.
He kept doing like
Routine.
birdies in couples. See that? He'd have like a couple birdies together, then he'd like a little par, then 2 birdies together, then a couple pars, then 2 birdies together.
I'm sure there's like an AI that can figure out the birdie algorithm for Scottie Scheffler.
It would just be like that's like in our league how we know how many Eagles birdies we got.
Fair enough.
If
So-
anybody could figure out the AI for figuring the birdies to par ratio, that would be you, Dan.
You're probably right. I'm saying there's somebody out there. I'm probably that somebody. Thank you, Rich. This brought Scottie his 9th worldwide win in 2024, including the Masters and his Olympic gold.
What a fun year, huh?
It really is. Do you guys feel like this should count in his win total for the year, though?
Oh yeah, I mean it's still yeah, especially now.
You
'cause-
paused for a second. I felt like you said yeah and
No,
then thought
I
about
said
it.
yeah, then I paused. I was like, oh yeah,
Oh, it
because,
went from a
well-
yeah to an oh yeah.
he's against all the best golfers on the tour.
Going back to that first conversation, like if Tiger Woods picks you for his tournament, that's an extra bonus. You deserve the points. Because like if you don't get on Tiger's radar, like that's harder to do than anything.
Yeah, well, to me, that is like the ultimate times infinity version of being picked for like
Yeah.
the kickball team.
100%.
Like times infinity. like
Tiger Woods.
I'm right now reliving all of my childhood trauma of being the plus size kid who, got picked like 7th, which feels like, last.
You know, it's another cool thing. Like, how many players like saw Tiger win a Masters and then really want to win the next Masters because they wanted Tiger to put the green jacket on? Because I was thinking that. I'm like, that would be a number 1 thought if I was a pro.
What a dynamic too. Like you win the green jacket, but who puts it on you?
Oh,
then there was the
Patrick
whole
Reed puts it on you. You're like, don't touch
I'll
my
do
jacket.
it.
Don't
Yeah,
touch
give
my
me it.
yeah,
jacket.
leave me alone.
So
Yeah, well,
I
and
did
then
a little. I did a little diving into as far as the world golf rankings.
go
and
on.
You guys asked about how many points were given. Is it a valid amount of points? All that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So Scottie for this event, he got 30 points for the win.
30?
Okay.
It's not a ton, right?
30. It's 30.54553. I don't know why it goes into that much of a decimal. I've never seen a points ranking like that, but that's how it works.
That's when you're
Unbelievably
trying to add
specific
inches
number.
to it.
Yeah. So, and then as you kind of step down, the points did fall off pretty quick. So in second Tom Kim, he had 17.71641. Justin Thomas 11. Then you're at 8.5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the last 2. So John Daly and Henley, they actually scored 0 points.
John Daly.
So
Jason Day.
it didn't. Sorry, Jason Day.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, Jason Day. Misreading that.
He can't even read.
So if you can kind of compare points given to like other championships that Scheffler won, most of the stuff that he was winning, he's getting like 60 and 70 points for a win. Like the Memorial Day tournament presented about by Workday, he got first. He got 70 points for that. The RBC Heritage, he got 63. But then you're seeing some of the others, like when he's in the tied for second in the Phoenix Open or tied for third in the Phoenix Open, he still got 20 points.
Okay.
So I don't feel like this was a ton of points for the size tournament.
So it's enough to give some validation to the tournament, but it's not enough to like completely swing the point system in some sort of crazy unfair manner. But here's what I will say. Should that conversation sort of quiet down or shift what is being said about LIV Golf not having world golf ranking points and all that. They're like, well, it's a closed tournament and there's no way to qualify in and all these other things. So LIV Golf, of course, over here with no world golf ranking points, but then over here, we have a 0 merit-based hand-picked buddy system tournament that does get world golf ranking points. I don't know. Like,
Because
I feel
Tiger's
like
in
there's
the
something
PGA.
there. What's that?
You know, Tiger's in the PGA, you know, and he deserves it.
Well, but they've been doing it since 2009, so it's not even like a brand new thing they're handing out.
Yeah, but they didn't he didn't try to scout players from the PGA to go to another thing. Like, they're, you know what I mean?
I don't, Rich, you tell me your thoughts on this, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think, to me, it's the qualification system that should award the points or not.
I mean, it's being newer to golf and everything like that. I don't have it all, but the thing that I don't understand is I don't understand how, when you have these players that are so incredibly good at, you know, LIV, and now they're struggling, and we're putting in the Ryder Cup not our best golfers and things like that because of some technicality of who's playing what, like, and where they played.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense to me.
I agree. But you know what? We're going to get to a little bit later in the show. There has been some new information. There's potentially some progress being made towards the PGA Tour LIV Golf deal. We'll get into that in a little bit. But before we get off Scottie Scheffler, and it's hard to get off of him if you know what I mean. This week, the purse was $5 million going out, being spread around to these guys. Scottie Scheffler took home $1 million. You know, obviously it's not his biggest payday, but man, does that not suck to take a trip to the Bahamas
And get $1 million.
Yeah, just a nice little duffel bag of cash.
Everybody's carrying your clubs, eating the best food.
Dude, yeah, you know he's not staying at the Motel 6.
Massages when you're done golfing.
Break from the new baby. Whatever. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot going on that he thoroughly enjoyed.
That was a
baby's
Freudian
in Bahamas right now.
That was a Freudian comment.
You think the whole family goes, baby?
Oh, yeah.
I would think
the whole
so,
thing?
yeah.
Yeah, you would think.
Those wives got to have a club, and they're like, oh, we're going to, every weekend's a party.
Honey, listen. The private jet is full. I'm
Yeah,
bringing like 6 sets of clubs. What do you want to do?
Get out of here.
He's like, I'll take my own. Like Jeff Bezos and his, I don't know if it's his girlfriend or wife or fiance. They have their own G650s that they fly at. Like they meet everybody like in play.
I would too. 100.
It's crazy.
I would totally.
Well, Scottie Scheffler. Go ahead, Rich.
Jason Day and Russell Henley, for just showing up, got $150K.
Wow.
Oh,
that's an appearance fee. I mean, how nice is that?
Is that really an appearance fee?
I mean, essentially, if you don't perform well, you finish last.
Dan got me Jersey Mike's for coming today.
Yeah, you know, Gary got an appearance fee. You got Jersey Mike's today.
It was awesome. I actually had to buy McDonald's though, and I was eating it I was so hungry.
Wait. You bought McDonald's and Jersey Mike's?
I got the Jersey Mike's. I ate half the sandwich at Jersey Mike's because I wasn't. And then I saw the McDonald's on my way. I'm like, I'm getting a spicy chicken sandwich with a McFlurry and a fry.
I got to dive into this for like 5 seconds. You didn't get the McDonald's while you were waiting for your Jersey Mike's. You were mid-sandwich and then got McDonald's.
I was in the drive-thru eating it. Like, I want a spicy chicken sandwich. Can I get an Oreo McFlurry and not a pop?
If that doesn't say biggest loser, I don't know what does.
Gary, do you have a response to that name?
It's a dirty bulk, buddy. Dirty bulk for like 2 years.
Dirty bulk.
That's a rationalization. I'm just a fat kid right now.
All right. I'm still talking about Scottie Scheffler.
Moving on.
Thank you. So this additional $1 million to his 2024 season earnings put him up to over $62 million this year, which is a professional golf record. That doesn't include all of his endorsement deals, the fact that he wears Nike on everything he does.
Are you talking just flat out money for prizes?
Yeah, we're talking. And so here's the breakdown.
So he won the FedEx now?
Yeah. FedEx pays like 20 million or something now. A little bit over. I don't know. But here's the thing. His overall career total earnings for Scottie Scheffler in golf tournament prize money is $136 million. Here's the breakdown. PGA Tour earnings, $123 million and some change. Majors, $13.5 million, giving him that total of $136.7 million.
He still has to maintain #1 position to 2035 in order to Ty Tiger.
Yeah. However, he's out-earned him times like 8.
Yeah.
But that was different. I mean, with inflation, that's only like $78. So, whatever. It's fine. Yeah, a couple notable names. Tom Kim took second, Justin Thomas in third, Akshay Bahati,
my boy,
fourth.
I love that guy. He's cool.
No.
He's so cool.
Up and coming Ryder Cup captain Keegan Bradley for
still
fifth.
hot.
I love Keegan too.
You like Keegan?
He just
That's my
got
mom's
hot
maiden name too.
At the end of the season, and is still keeping it up.
I think the Ryder Cup captaincy position gave him some juice. It's what I
met like his uncle in South Carolina or something, or just like a liar. One of the two.
I either totally met his uncle or I met a guy who's a complete liar.
Yeah, Keegan Bradley is my nephew. Oh, that's pretty cool. You want to buy me a drink?
I totally believe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you never know. I just rock it out.
So one of the big things that sort of hit the headlines after this last week, Scottie Scheffler trying out a new putting grip. And for me, you don't see Scottie tinkering a lot. He's got this wild swing where his feet are going all over the place, which works incredibly well. But I was actually pretty shocked to see him show up and try something completely different in the scene of putting. So he went with what is called the claw grip. The claw is the law. And Gary, take a look here. Have you experimented with this at all?
I actually used it for my entirety of my junior year.
Oh, you were doing this back in the day.
Yeah.
I thought this was like a new trend.
Oh, no.
No, I even knew this has been around for a while.
I know it's been around, but I'm talking about like guys that could really outdo it. You know what I mean?
I played for like probably maybe like 2004 to 2005.
Why'd you start it? Why'd you stop doing it?
Man, it's like a placebo thing when you do something new and it's like you have no like bad shot with it. And it's just like, let's rock it out and enjoy it. And I felt like cool doing it.
It's similar.
It's a vibe thing
to like getting a putter that like a new putter you love. Like
100%.
I bought the Jailbird putter like when all that Ricky Fowler stuff was going around.
I have to look at it before I leave.
And I went out. I just started draining putts with this thing. Like I don't know why. It was just like, oh my god! Like I knew exactly what Ricky Fowler's talking about. This is incredible. And then as I kept playing with it, like it just went away. I was like, I don't know why. Like it's not automagic. And I ended up putting rotating it back out of my bag, going back to my blade style putter. But I totally know what you mean. So here's what I'm a little bit curious about here. So obviously, Scottie Scheffler struggled a ton with his putting back in 2022, 2023. It's kind of, it was just, he was dominating in every other aspect of the golf course other than putting on the green. So he took on a new putting coach, Phil Kenyon, back in 2023. What I'm curious of when a change like this is happening for a number one player in the world, is this something where he sits down and says, I need something different. Let's start experimenting. Or does coach say, hey, Scottie, I got a crazy idea. Flip your hand over and do this weird like claw hook thing. And let's see how that goes. Like, how does the number one player in the world come to the idea that we're going to hold this golf club completely different? I want to be a fly on the wall for that type of conversation.
I wonder if this was planned out during time.
So they could have discussed it during the season and said, well, let's wait for the break. Let's test it. And then let's go to the Hero World because there's only like, 30, world ranking points and like $1 million on the line, which for him is like literally changing his couch. So yeah, we'll work on it and then you can throw it out there in the tournament and see if it's working.
Yeah, because I saw two different articles that said two different things. So I don't know which one to believe. One of them said that he's been working on it forever and finally put it in. And the other article said that he first time doing it, which I think is wrong.
It can't be. There's no way like on Wednesday he was like, hey guys, look at this.
He might have used it for months at a time throughout his life periodically. Just, never know.
It's an old trick in the bag.
Yeah, it's just like an old thing. Oh, let's go back to it.
It's just hiding down there.
Yeah.
It's all, he could be doing it for practice to get a different feel so he knows how a good putt's supposed to feel normally.
Do you think we're going to see like a Vegas bet line on if after the new year, first tournament of the regular season,
if he switches back,
are there going to be odds on which putting grip?
I would think so.
I mean, there could be. I feel like there's a bet for everything.
Well, now there is because you said it.
There is now. I just put it out there. Do you get royalties on a bet
parlay
line? Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. But I thought it was funny though. Tiger Woods was a little surprised by this new putting grip. And it was funny. Sunday, he was sitting in the booth with the commentators and all that. And he looks at his putting grip and says, "What's that thing?" What's that thing? Like, I feel like that's the funniest way. Not like, "Hey, what's Scottie up to?" "Oh, I see. He's trying." "What's that thing?"
That reminds me of the girl at the Tom Brady roast that looks at Jeff Ross and she's like, "Jeff Ross, your pronouns look like they're ick and it."
Well, I feel like Tiger Woods had the same
Yeah, he's
sentiments
100%.
for this. I mean, like that hand, that forward hand, like with it kind of like straight and like waving, it almost looks like he's just touching the putter with like, I don't know, like his middle finger and his ring finger, and they're just kind of like guiding it a little bit. I don't know. But it worked for him. I mean, it absolutely worked for him in dominant style and fashion. And in my opinion, which completely doesn't matter whatsoever,
Yeah, right.
Scottie, keep doing it.
Your name's not Scottish.
Have you ever tried it?
I like,
For fun.
yeah, like maybe like just for like a couple putts. Like if I'm, so I love to practice golf. I hate to practice putting. So let's just say I spend 100 hours like hitting balls. Maybe 40 minutes of that was putting.
I'm that little kid that's always like, "I want to putt," because they turn the lights off and then we could only putt.
And then of those 40 minutes, maybe 1 out of 10 times I do it like twice. So that is
Wow.
the grand total of the amount of time I've invested in this.
Plus,
Yeah.
there's no heaters out there, so it makes him not want to go out there also.
No, you're getting so specific about the place that we hit balls that I don't think anybody knows what you're talking about. Because yes, we do practice in the middle of the night because we're weird like that. Moving right along. All right. I feel like that's enough. I've said enough about Scottie Scheffler, Tiger Woods, the hero world. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch a second of that tournament live.
I watched it on Friday at the bowling alley.
So it was like on.
I think it was a repeat.
You weren't dialed. You weren't on the couch like with your favorite drink.
No,
You know?
I think it honestly was a repeat because we were after like 30 minutes, we were getting the same clips again. So we're like, oh, I wonder when
It
this
was
ended.
like a highlight reel or something
Yeah,
that was
there-
looping.
Like, well, it was. I think it was actual footage. I think they just had it on replay because it wasn't just like, oh, here's a good shot. Well, TV golf is kind of like that. Oh, here's a good shot here. Here's a good shot here. It's not like,
It's the best of the best.
yeah.
I love when they just show Tiger when he was in a tournament. You always saw every one of his shots.
Well, that's,
Oh yeah.
And I love the people that bitch about it online. I'm like, good. Yeah.
there's more than just him that does that.
Oh yeah. But
Now you go on ESPN Plus and they got like 3 or 4 different groups, and it's literally specifically just that group, or they'll do a whole. And like for the Masters, they had Amen Corner. That was a whole
Which-
telecast in itself.
By the way, the Masters app on the phone or like on Apple TV, unbelievable.
They
I mean,
just show you where you are on the course.
no, but you could go in there and pick any player, any round, and any shot, and go back and watch
Really?
anything. I mean, you have like thousands of shots from all these guys playing from any hole, from anywhere. Like at any point in time, you can go back and review each one, and then you can go through and watch like the featured group, watch Amen Corner, watch. They've got like
whole 4.
6 different feeds
4,
you can
5,
pick
6,
from.
yeah.
What's
It's
crazy
wild.
is they didn't even broadcast the back 9 or the front 9 on TV for so many years. Remember that?
You know what?
No.
I don't.
It's okay to
I
be
think
honest.
I've been watching the
it's
Masters for
okay.
maybe 4 years.
You won't get
Is
in
when
trouble.
when I deeply became obsessed.
It was like 4 years ago.
Well, and the one thing I know, and you probably wouldn't know about this, but if you actually go to the Masters,
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
body.
I didn't mean that.
He won the war.
I take it back.
Wow. Like Gizmo hates you.
Hey, at least we could hear him here finally.
I got a towel.
He had to mute.
We talked a bunch last week about Tony Finau. There were rumors swirling all around about this potential of Tony Finau heading to LIV Golf, which I find wildly interesting because we are right now in the same week of the 1-year anniversary of the Jon Rahm announcement of him going to LIV Golf for the alleged amount, because again, this is never disclosed and you don't know the exact numbers, but the reported $450 million. And one of the big telltale signs leading up to it was Jon Rahm backed out of the Hero World Challenge. He also then said he wasn't going to be playing in the TGL Indoor League. And then I actually put a video out on my YouTube kind of speculating on all of this. And then it was like about a week later or so, the announcement came and happened. And so now here we get a year later, and then we find out that Tony Finau dropped out of the Hero World Challenge, and it instantly sparked an absolute forest fire of speculation going around. We jumped in on it. I definitely felt like that is such a strong possibility. Tony Finau has a name, super recognizable in the golf community, but hasn't been like killing it. You know, I don't know, what was his last win, like the Mexico Open? Like, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't have all my Tony Finau stats in front of me, but it seemed like a very strong possibility. Well, he came out this week after all of our speculation and everything that, you know, all the videos that were posted and everything. And he said, the rumors, they're not true. I'm more than happy. I'm at the PGA Tour and looking forward to 2025. Finau also said, when I tee up in Maui, it will all go away. So I don't worry about it one bit. So I guess that kind of clears it up. I mean, I feel like that's too sort of direct of a statement to then like switcheroozy us here in like 2 weeks. I mean, you know, I don't know. Do you know why he backed out?
I don't know.
Josh knows.
Yeah, he got, I'm pretty sure he got some type of knee surgery or procedure done to his knee.
Yeah.
Something minor that he said that needed to be done, or else he would have been like hurting for a while.
Yeah, what he said was, from what the doctors told me, it was a pretty standard cleanup. So it's probably one of those things where they go in and like scrape a bunch of gunk out and scar tissue and all kinds of nastiness. But I like this. He said, he was referring to his doctor. He said it would be helpful, so I did it. I don't know. He said it would be helpful.
The doctor's membership
whatever.
dues just went up at the club. He's like, Tony, you need your knee scraped.
Yeah, how about we scrape those knees, Tony?
You got to chip in for the bunkers.
I don't get it.
Oh.
He withdraws from one tournament and everyone thinks he's gone to live. That's like me saying, I'm not drinking tonight. Then the whole bar asks how my sobriety is doing. Well, it's doing great. And get me a damn beer.
Is it really drinking if it's a beer? Who gets drunk off beer?
Upright, 2 hands up right there.
Hold on.
Could you imagine Josh drinking my drinks?
Hold on. We've got another very important piece of insight from Mid-Jersey Mike's Sandwich Stop at McDonald's Gary. Go ahead and tell us about how drinking beer isn't drinking.
Well, there's this like movie and it's Hell or High Water and they're about to rob a bank and the one brother turns to the one brother, he's drinking beer. He's like, hey, got a job to pull. Can't get drunk. He's like, who the hell gets drunk off beer? And then they pulled the job and he's at the casino. He's like, want a whiskey. He's like, now I'm going to get drunk.
Wow.
Real men drink whiskey.
Words to live by.
Great story.
Thanks, buddy.
Great story.
I'll put it on an audiobook so you can listen to it when you sleep.
All right. So Tony Finau, he's staying at the PGA Tour. He's not going anywhere.
Nice job, Tony.
Staying put.
Not going to be joining the folks of LIV Golf. But speaking of LIV Golf, we got a big changeup going on over there in the internal infrastructure of LIV Golf. Greg Norman, he's out. He is, of course, the part of the brain power behind the entire LIV Golf concept. Also the CEO of the LIV Golf Corporation, and has really been there, I mean, since before day one when this thing was just an idea. But they have determined that Greg Norman is no longer going to be the guy to lead the way. And there's confirmed reports that that he's actually not too upset about this. So I'm not sure if this is something that was brought to him from sort of the outside in, or if this is something he's always known that's going to happen, or if this is something that he's suggested. I know they've brought in some big heavy hitters. They just brought on like the CMO from Pepsi. There's kind of been a lot of press release announcements of how they are massively growing the LIV Golf organization. So there's a very good possibility that this has been something that's long in the works. A lot of people have been speculating about it, but the news has finally hit and it is official.
Do you think that they put him as the CEO at first just to get a name in there, and then once they realized, okay, we got something here,
Yeah, like
it's
what?
moving.
Yeah.
I think
I agree
think
with
he
that.
was in that role where it's like he knew he was going to be out.
Because what's he going to do now? Like, go to work? Like, you don't need to go to work.
Well, I mean, here's
He's
the thing.
going to.
Yeah, he's going to go, but it's not like he's
this is just a look back on Greg Norman's professional career. Norman secured over 90 international tournament victories, including 2 Open Championships, 1986 and 1993. He held the #1 spot on the official world golf rankings for 331 weeks, which at the time was the record for the most amount of weeks.
That's like half his Tigers. His
So-
Tigers like 631.
I feel like, no, he's probably not going to be putting job applications
No.
out there.
Well, no, I'm not saying like what's he got to really do at LIV? Like he's not sending out emails going to a computer. He's just going there to do what he said, like have a name, be a recognizable face, and you know.
In my opinion, I felt like he was a huge driving force to get LIV off the ground, from the concept of it, bringing a massive name, because before, you know, some of the early guys that came on, we had Dustin Johnson, Phil
Phil.
Mickelson. Shortly after that was Bryson, and kind of the list went on
Cam
from
Smith.
there. But Cam Smith, thank you, which was wildly shocking at the time.
Right?
But I felt like a big part of that was somebody with so much success in the world of golf
Wanting to do more.
saying, I have this massive idea and we've got a massive amount of financial support behind this. I'm curious if you would like to come join me and have a lot of fun and get a paycheck that is for even Dustin Johnson, that was like 3 times more than he had earned in his entire career.
Oh yeah.
He'd be handed at that single moment.
You'd have to win like 300 tournaments at $1 million a pop.
So it looks like the successor to Greg Norman is going to be Scott O'Neill. The anticipated new CEO brings extensive experience from his role as CEO of the Philadelphia 76ers and the New Jersey Devils under the Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment Organization. He is expected to assume leadership of LIV Golf as it prepares for its 4th season.
Question for you, Dan.
Go on.
What sports are those 2 teams?
Okay, the 76ers are basketball, right?
Okay.
Great question.
And then the New Jersey Devils, I'm just going to say hockey.
Yeah.
I
Bingo, bango.
just thank you, Gary. Gary's giving me a little little skin
hands.
there. Josh,
I do have a little fun fact about Greg Norman.
okay, drop it.
He owns an $80 million yacht,
Hmm.
which of course has a heliport on it.
Naturally.
And it has a personalized theater that cost over $1 million.
Do you think he's just like replaying the greatest of Greg Norman? He's like, oh, come on in. Oh, I didn't know this was on.
I would 1000% do that if it was me.
I had no idea. Dude, who left this DVD in there?
Oh,
Do you
man.
guys have people in your life that are like that?
If I had to
Wait, that have $80 million yachts? No.
No,
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 I
no,
don't
no.
have people like that in my
No,
life.
no.
No, I'm saying that will play something
Hey,
like
watch
of
this
themselves.
video.
Yeah.
No.
Every Christmas we watch Dan.
Is it drive-through guy?
You know what?
Is it just that table?
I am so bad at that. Like I will like 80% of the time when I meet somebody new. Look at my Tiger fist pumped at me video.
It's like
You
that.
never showed me that.
I did.
You didn't show Josh that?
I went.
No, you didn't.
I show everybody.
I have not seen you fist pump Tiger. I would remember that.
My phone's off.
Yeah. So, no, I don't have any friends with $80 million yachts.
You do have friends that show videos of themselves.
That is very true. Josh, I'm so glad that you asked me that question. And I am even more proud that I successfully answered that and got it correct. So this change occurs amid ongoing negotiations between LIV Golf and the PGA Tour, with the U.S. Department of Justice scrutinizing the potential alliance. Tiger Woods has noted that the legal complexities are influencing the pace of these discussions. However, just today, moments before the show, when I should be preparing, when I should be mentally getting myself in the zone for the show and writing, what am I doing? Scrolling Instagram. But you know what? I lucked out today because while I was completely wasting time not preparing for the show, I found some content for the show, which was on Instagram. And it was this announcement here. Josh, throw it up on the screen for me, would you? Thank you.
Already there.
Saudi PIF nearing deal to acquire 6% ownership of PGA Tour Enterprises. The deal values PGA Tour Enterprises at $12 billion. Now,
dollars.
Money.
$12 billion, big number, great, totally huge number. But at the same time, for an entire professional sports organization, seems a little low. Kind of, right? I mean, I think. Like, what is the NFL organization valued at?
I know
they're not comparable. I get that.
Baseball, it's by team.
There's not like a value of like the overall organization that doesn't exist.
There is. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I know there's teams that have
more than that. Far more. Yeah.
I don't know more than that, but close. Just teams, not even the whole franchise MLB as a whole.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are they talking about like the whole thing is 12 billion or 6% is valued at 12 billion?
No, that would the entire enterprise is valued at 12 billion based upon what they're talking about, from the 6% ownership.
Okay.
But I will say that to me really starts to feel like there's potential for some momentum in a deal to finally happen. I think the part that's interesting and almost a little sad, I'm a little remorseful that Greg Norman didn't make it through to this ultimate deal that he's been really pushing for so long. He's out by the time the deal comes together. I feel bad for the guy. What's he going to do? Head back to his $80 million yacht all by himself and read about this on Instagram while he's taking a big dump? I don't know.
He's a shock.
How much was that bathroom worth?
$1 million theater.
Yeah. $974,000 toilet.
How expensive are those speakers? Like, I mean,
oh yeah,
those were expensive, but like $1 million theater.
Do you think it's on like, when you buy a new car, it's like, oh, you've got, we got the Bose surround system in here. Like, does it get a printout for the boat, with like some of the most important features on it?
I think you guys are missing the mark on that. I think it's not the sound systems. I think it's the seats.
Oh,
I think it's
everything. It's
everything.
Like,
he doesn't have great speakers and crappy seats.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, for $1 million, you're going to have, like, it's got the nicest screen and the nicest projector and the nicest sound and the nicest seats, the nicest carpet, the nicest
and honestly,
ceiling,
he probably has, like, shelves with the DVD. Well, he doesn't have any DVDs, but, like, things are made out of gold and, like, just outrageous
You don't
stuff.
think he's got, like, one of those entertainment centers where, like, all the wires are hanging out? And he's got, like, RCA cables that go from, like, the front of the VCR up to around the back of the back of the TV.
Honey, throw on part 2 of Titanic. It's too long to go on one VHS.
You never watch Titanic on a yacht.
Boat? Yeah,
ever.
100%.
That is the golden rule. Ever.
He just has a really expensive iPad holder that stabilizes as the boat moves.
Wonder how much the Titanic was versus his yacht.
Oh, that's a great question.
Thanks. I hear the...
Yeah. Rich, instant typing. Though. Instant typing. I will find that information immediately from the internet.
That is Googleable.
I'm on pins and needles here, Rich. So I hope you find this.
It is a lot harder than you'd think.
That's what she said.
Keep talking. I'll find
Wonder if I could beat him with my phone.
All right. Yeah, so LIV Golf deal, PGA Tour, potentially coming together, getting closer. Now, there was also some other news leak today, and this came directly from Brooks and Bryson. They told Matt Vincent that next year we may get a LIV versus PGA Tour Ryder Cup style match.
All right, I would
Look at that picture.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, these guys look good. They look real good.
That's crazy though.
Yeah,
That would be. That's
I
something
feel like we've talked about this 100
Don't
times.
we've
get, like,
talked about this months
Step
ago.
Brothers vibes. You get like, Blues Brothers vibes right now. You get,
Oh,
I was
you
about to say you have Step Brothers vibes.
no,
or
like
Blues
every
Brothers
cool,
vibes on
great dynamic. You just got, I don't know. It's just boys
what
with
is
the
it?
boys.
A die what?
Dynamic.
that? Dynamic.
Thank you.
Aluminum. Alumni.
I am wildly excited about the idea of a LIV Golf PGA Tour Ryder Cup style event.
Question. No music or music. What would you like? I hate the music at the LIV. It drives me nuts. It's crazy. Calm it down a little bit.
Shut up, Gary.
Yeah.
I'm an old man. Shut up. Leave me
The front
alone.
9 has music. The back 9 doesn't have music.
Yeah, Gary, go to
Fine.
the back
Half
nine.
and half. Half and half. Thanks, Rich.
All right, so
Go
I
hang
have
out
the
on
answer on the
16.
Titanic.
All right, what'd you say about Titanic?
So the Titanic cost $7.5 million to build back in 19, whatever it was that it was built.
12.
All right.
So in today's dollars, I'm going to give you guys an A, B, C, or D.
Ooh.
A in today's dollar, it's worth 200 million. B, 400 million. C, 600 million. Or D, 800 million.
B.
I'm going with B.
B. I'm going with B.
Everybody went B. I went B first, so they would pick something else. All right, I'm C.
I only had A or B.
I don't want to go down with their sinking ship.
We need that sound effect there. The correct answer is $400 million, so B.
I was right, and I said it first. I only changed because of you idiots. Whatever. I was right. I was right.
They picked B because you picked B.
Yeah.
Hey, did we pick B or did he pick C? I think we picked B.
I only picked B because I had A or B to pick
You
from.
didn't lock it in. This is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Rich, tell them they're wrong.
It's your show. You just
They're wrong.
Thank you. Josh, mute everyone, including yourself. All right. Yeah, I want to see this event happen. Speaking of big events, though, Josh, you threw this in the run of show.
Yeah.
I find this wildly interesting, even though I watch zero baseball. But the world's largest sports contract came out this past weekend. Josh, I'm going to hand it over to you for a second.
All right.
And you kind of take us through what's going on here.
World's largest sports contract just came out this past weekend as we hit the 1 year mark from John Rahm's huge LIV Golf deal that was reported $450 million.
That's a big boat.
Last week we talked about
Wait, Rahm made more than the Titanic cost with inflation adjusted.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just throwing that out there. Keep going. Sorry.
Last week we talked a little bit about contracts with MLB, like with Ohtani and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But a guy by the name of Juan Soto, he is 26 years old. He was a former Yankee, also a former National. He just signed with the New York Mets, so he's driving across town for a 15-year, $765 million deal.
Could somebody tell me how far away the Yankee Stadium is from the Mets Stadium? Does anybody know that? Anybody?
I think only like 20 miles or something.
So my
you
question
think about
is,
it like go ahead.
My question is, when you take a payday like that, do you still move? Do you move? It's like, hey, I'm on the wrong side of town. I got to move.
Do you know what's crazy though? Do you know he turned down a contract?
For how much?
He turned down a $760 million 16-year contract with the Yankees.
Well, so the dollar amount is bigger. The per year amount is smaller. So I guess that makes sense.
And I broke it down. I broke it down too. So it's 15 years. So he'll be making $51 million a year.
Okay.
$4.25 million a month. And then just to be fun, I put it as a biweekly pay period.
Okay.
He's making $2.12 million for every biweekly pay period.
So like he gets his check every other Friday, like everyone else. He's punching out, grabbing his check on his way home, going to swing by the Chase Bank ATM to deposit it. And that 2-week check for him is looking like $2.12 million.
Yep.
That's phenomenal.
New York don't have direct deposit.
I mean, I want to, you could splurge every week.
Yep.
There's no off weeks. It's not like, hey, we had a couple bills come up.
No,
not at all.
You're so fine.
You're like, you know what? I'm going to hit a bag ball because I don't want to dump another Pro V1 in the water. They're getting expensive at the clubhouse.
How many months do you think that you would spend the $4 million, like at least 3 times a year?
Yeah, well, you're like, I know we actually do need to hang on. I did spend like the whole month.
We can't buy another Ferrari.
Rich, what do you got?
How much did you say that breakdown was per year?
51 million.
765 total, so, 51 a year.
Shohei Ohtani,
yes,
who is pitcher / DH for the Dodgers. So he has a 10-year, $700 million contract. So obviously that is just a touch under the $765 million. 15.
Yeah.
But his is only for 10 years, so that's an average of $70 million per year.
Well, here's an interesting look and why this doesn't make headlines, and I think it should. Scottie Scheffler made $62 million this year. Now, no, that is not contracted in. It's not guaranteed. He's got to play his ass off again next year to see that money again. However, we're looking at record-breaking contracts in the world of sports, and Scottie Scheffler per year made more this year than the single year amount for this $765 million deal that just went through.
And next year he could make like $2 million if he just sucks.
I just did some little bit further research.
All right, Josh.
On numbers. So when you look at like salary caps and all that, you got to look at the year. So like he might have a $765 million contract, but you got to do it by year for their salary caps for each team. So we what do we say? It was $51 million a year, right?
Yeah.
The lowest salary cap for a team in a year is the Oakland Athletics, and they're actually going to be moving to Vegas. It's $60.5 million for the year for everyone.
That's their whole budget for the whole
That just shows you.
But then you have people like the Mets. They're the number one right now with $305.6 million.
Wow.
So like you could just see the difference between these teams and like why are teams so good compared to other ones, because they could just afford all these good players.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that makes a huge difference. I mean, similarly, LIV Golf came in with a massive budget and became the fastest growing tour in the history of tours ever because they had dollars to do it. And I mean, obviously, I think that applies pretty much to anything. Like, you want to do well, you want to get some attention, throw an unbelievable amount of money at it, and all of a sudden you got the big players.
Damn, Juan Soto is making over $26,500 an hour.
Jesus.
Do you know how much work I have to do here to get a meal nowadays? Most of the time, I'm just starving. Look at me. I'm thinning out by the second. And that is all because of you, Dan.
Jesus. God, that's so direct.
Such a scumbag.
Dude, what an attack.
Wow.
Did I sit here and take this?
You muted his mic earlier.
I'm agreeing with Gizmo.
The guy who runs the
you
board
bought me
tells
a
me I muted
sandwich.
the mic. What are we doing here?
You want me to?
Josh, how are you unmuted? Wow. All right.
So according to SI here, it says that none of the money is deferred, and he is guaranteed $51 million every year, where opposed to Ohtani, sorry, he I don't know the exact details of his, but almost all of his money is deferred till after he's ready to retire.
There's a little shout out to Sports Illustrated. Was that SI correct?
Thank you, Rich. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Is that sort of like the lottery where it's like, do you want the lump sum or do you want to
later.
like
You always take the
take it
lump sum.
forever?
You see, I feel like Soto's got the better deal there. I would rather have the money now.
Why?
Well, the thing with Ohtani, though, because he's from Japan, he's not taking his money here, so he doesn't have to pay the California taxes and doesn't have to pay the U.S. taxes. He's going to go over to Japan where he's not going to have to pay all his taxes.
Then the Japanese yens are, isn't it the other way where it's more expensive there? But if we have it, I feel like $1 is more expensive than a yen.
I don't know, but I think the biggest hindrance on it, aside from currency transfer rates, is taxation, and that makes a ton of sense.
You're talking. Well, go ahead.
Well, you're talking hundreds of millions of dollars difference. You know what I mean? When you're in the $700 million
That
range,
pisses me off more than the Tiger Woods handpicked 20 guys. Like, you got to like have a place set up in a different country, and then you just don't have to get taxes. Like, get out of here.
Well, like, he doesn't even speak our language. He has an interpreter with him in the dugout.
Well,
so, like,
fine.
he's visiting here.
That's
it's
fine.
not like he has like
Oh,
another
yeah,
place
okay,
set up.
fine,
He
fine.
like literally.
But he
like,
has the money to buy here and live here.
Yeah, but he's not like a
I
citizen
get
of
you,
the
I
United
get you, I get
States.
you.
He might be.
I don't know. I never know.
So they're saying here that in California they have the quote jock tax rate, and it's 13.3%.
How offensive! The jock tax rate. I don't like that name.
Right?
Jock this.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, if you're like an elite chess player, they're like, well, you don't qualify for this tax category because you're like flabby and, whatever. You're awkward when you run.
Dan's going to get a comment, and it's going to be like this jack chess guy. It'll be like, yeah.
But to beat your
You're
ass.
like, you can't say anything nowadays. Everybody's got a voice.
All right. Before we get out of here, last thing, and I feel like this is so important for us to cover for the broader community outside of golf. But Christmas is just around the corner. And the funny thing is, people ask me all the time, what do I want for Christmas? They're like, we should buy you some golf stuff. And the real problem is most golfers already have everything. And the things that other people can buy us are very specific. Like if somebody goes to the store and like, hey, I got you some golf balls, there is the largest majority chance that you got the wrong ones. Like, I'm like, no, I want my Bridgestone, whatever.
With the 3
Tour
red dots.
BRX, whatever.
I want an 8-iron.
Same thing. It's like, here, I bought you a new driver. Like chances are that's the wrong one. That it's not the one I want. So, Gary, you love receiving gifts. How do you guide someone?
Yeah, I'm like, wait,
receiving gifts.
What kind of gifts do you like to receive?
How do you guide somebody who's trying to shop for a golfer for Christmas? That's what I'm asking. Like, is it maybe some new golf shoes? Like what route do you go?
Obviously, the dirty one. No, because what was it? I say Transformer gift is the best gift, which is a gift card, because I would like to go experience the shopping also, and then I can pick out what I want and what I need. That's the best gift for me. But an 8-iron, 6-iron, a 3-wood, or.
But what if they're like random? They're like, I got you.
I want a whole set of blue Mizuno blades. That's what I want for Christmas this year.
Man, hear that, Santa?
Wow.
Jesus.
Well, I'll tell you something. I think tees might be one of the easiest things to buy.
If somebody gets me a bag of teas, I'm going to throw them in their face.
Why?
Because it's like $6 for like 2,000 of them. Why'd you give me teas?
Yeah, that's bullshit gift.
You guys were just saying how it's so hard. Tees are so easy.
Tees are easy. Look at this. This guy's got,
Here, Josh, I got you teas. Here. Merry Christmas, Josh. There you go.
I wanted to throw something at him from the
There
other
you
comment.
go. You got everything you wanted.
Oh, God. Come here, laugh again.
Oh, God. Get this guy a cough button. Polos.
Easy.
I feel like polos are easy. Everybody needs more golf polos. You can go with the polo. I feel like golf pants and shorts are harder to gift. A polo, general size, easy to exchange. I think that is a great go-to. Hats.
Easy.
Every golfer has too many hats, and every golfer wants more hats. Easy go-to.
Balls, though.
How about a hat that says "Best Dad by Par"?
Maybe not every hat's the right hat, but there's some good hats
the
out
next
there.
hat is like bad dad joke.
Yeah, there's other good hats
Best bad
too.
dad joke giver.
I feel like golf shoes. You know what I mean? Because I like a variety of shoes. So I feel like you can't really screw that up. They could be, I don't know, like anything from a Titleist Premier. Yeah, they're $225 shoes, but I'd be happy to get those. I wouldn't be mad. Maybe the G4s with the little skulls in the leather. I've been looking at those for a while. They're pretty expensive. You could gift me that. Anyone out there? If you're listening?
That Scottie wears Tiger Woods shoes.
Oh yeah.
My favorite.
Do you think?
And Keegan wears Michael Jordans.
Is that weird that it's like,
no,
I'm here to beat you? He's like, shut up. You're wearing my shoe.
Did you just say Michael Jordans?
Yeah, well, like the Nike.
Yeah. He's wearing Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
It's Jordan.
It's just Jordan.
Listen,
there's a faster way to say
or
that.
Jords.
Yeah.
Go post about it on the Facebook.
Rich, what do you got? I feel like you're about to throw something in there.
No, I was saying like the worst gift is like nobody needs another towel for their golf bag that clicks on your bag.
I got like 6 towels this year just from outings. Like
you've given me 3.
I've gotten 1.
I got 6 towels and gave Gary 3.
I like receiving
gifts. And you still have 6 of them attached to your bag.
Yeah, I do. And I've got like towels attached to my desk.
What's funny though is there's no towels on my bag right now. I don't know.
Your bag is towelless?
Towelless. No, there's one. There's one in the pocket. Never mind. I'm cool.
You don't put the towel in the pocket.
Here's what I would say. Probably the best universal gift for most golfers, because I don't think a lot of golfers have it, but as an absolute great gift. It's a little spendy, but the Blue Tees golf player.
Oh, dude, I got 2 of those. The Player
fun.
Plus with the touchscreen on it.
I agree with that 100%.
You know what? And that's the thing. Even if they already have one, it's awesome to have 2 because they link together like a whole thing.
Yeah,
this isn't
and
even
then
like
put
an
it
ad.
on the other card so that when you drive away, you can't hear it good. And then you have to ask. I'm like, what's going on with this?
Oh,
turn down the volume, then it goes back up.
All right, that's a great point. So, quick go-tos. Anyone watching, you could get golf shoes are pretty go-to. Golf polos. Most golf hats. I don't know about the one Rich read. and a Bluetooth speaker, which in my opinion is the best Bluetooth speaker out there. That's why I have two.
The Groove It though is really good.
Oh, you know what? You bring up a good point. Josh got a Groove It on his desk.
So do you.
I got the Mini G. All right, nice.
I got the big G.
Yeah, you do. Josh needs the big G. All right, whatever. Next week, we got the PNC Championship coming up. I'm pretty excited. I'm heading down there. It's down in Orlando. It's at the Ritz-Carlton golf course just outside of downtown Orlando.
Are you staying at the Ritz?
No, I'll probably be at like Homewood
Super
Suites,
8.
like, 2.5 miles away, getting my
Tampa.
continental breakfast. But I'm excited because Tiger and Charlie have confirmed they're officially going to be there. I'll be there with the media pass with Sports Illustrated. So I am hoping I get a chance to chat with these guys, maybe ask them a few questions. Maybe next week we could brainstorm some great questions that if I get a chance, I could ask Tiger and Charlie. We can go through that. In years past, Justin Thomas has been there with his dad, Nelly Corda. We get John Daly and Little John. We've seen all of them out there. So
Annika
I'm
Storstein.
Oh,
He's not Little John anymore.
yeah, but he's always going to be Little John.
I wish people called him Johnny.
I feel like he will be Little John to me forever.
I think about The Equalizer when I hear Little John.
I think
I
of the
don't even know what you're
musician.
talking
It's a
about.
movie with Denzel. Get on. Come on.
I think of the rapper, Little John.
Never mind.
That's not who we're talking about.
I have no idea.
Throw it up.
But that's it for this
Throw
week
it up.
on the Dance Golf World Show. We'll see you guys right back here